you've got a signed contract, you're going to take a chance, you're not going to safe harbor this year, you're going to wait till next year, or you're on the fence about signing a contract and you just want to delay it and see what happens as we go into next year. We're going to talk about the consequences and what that could mean for you. Welcome to the November 2025 In the Loop with Larry. In this video, we're going to talk about what would happen if you're thinking about going solar, whether you've already signed a contract or not, or you're on the fence of going solar, and you're deciding whether or not to wait until next year and not safe harbor this year. So you've got a signed contract, you're going to take a chance, you're not going to safe harbor this year, you're going to wait till next year, or you're on the fence about signing a contract and you just want to delay it and see what happens as we go into next year. We're going to talk about the consequences and what that could mean for you. So welcome, Larry.
Thanks, Warren.
So first of all, Larry, what do we know currently about, or what do we know and what don't we know about the FEOC guidelines?
Well, there's a lot that we don't know. So some things that we know is that companies that are owned by one of these countries, by one of the four countries, so it's China, Iran, Russia, and North Korea, companies that are within those countries cannot get the tax credit, period. Correct. So they are unable to get the tax credit. As far as FEOC restrictions on projects, that's a little bit limited. So one thing we know is that right now we can use the safe harbor table for domestic content. So basically what that means is for a ground mount, for example, I'll just give an example. For a ground mount, if you have a cell that complies with all the FEOC requirements, your ground mount is fine. As long as you have a module cell that complies with those requirements, your project's fine, even if nothing else complies. So based on the safe harbor table for domestic content, that would work for a ground mount. What we don't know,
though, that one caveat that you talked about, that there's no Chinese or any ownership from those four countries.
Exactly. And that's really the challenge, Warren, because what we don't know is what does it look like to have a cell, a module cell that complies with the FEOC requirements? That's where the question lies right now.
Right. And how granular are they going to get? Is it going to go down to raw materials?
Exactly. That's the question, because we have cells made in the U.S. So I can sit here and say, okay, we have cells made in the U.S. We should be fine. But what about the machines that make those cells? What about the technology behind those cells? What about the raw materials? What about the wafers? How granular are they going to get? What matters? If they require wafers to be made in the U.S., there is not much wafer capacity in the U.S. right now. If they require raw materials, if they require all the technology coming from the U.S., we've got a pretty significant challenge.
Correct. But we have some of the calculations and some of the guidelines to know that 60% of those components could come from those countries, as long as it wasn't owned by them, as long as it doesn't exceed that 40% threshold. But we don't know what that would look like.
Exactly. Yeah. And that percentage threshold is going to change over time.
Right.
Every year there's going to be an adjustment there. So yeah, really the biggest challenge right now is just to say, what does it look like to have a non-FEOC or a FEOC compliant product? We know what products we need, but what does it look like to have a product that actually complies?
Basically, really, there's risk involved there just on knowing whether or not these companies are going to be able to certify that their hardware complies with it, which leads us to the next two challenges of availability and price increases because of the demand for those projects.
Right. Yeah. And those are two things. So availability is one thing. So I have requested FEOC documents from manufacturers. And basically what I'm getting is, hey, we're not owned by a Chinese company. We're free from all Chinese ownership, which is great. But again, that might work based on the final guidance and it might not work. So if a lot of these companies are using technology or wafers coming from China, which is going to be the primary issue, and suddenly their product doesn't comply, then the limited amount of supply that does comply is going to be, first of all, obviously very limited and challenging to get. And secondly, the price is going to go up. And I've had, customers asking, how high is the price going to go? And the answer is, I don't know. If
Right.
if US made cells works, we have product. And for some projects, the price wouldn't go up at all or very little because we already have supply of modules with US cells, at least limited supply. But if they go all the way to wafers or to raw materials, I'm telling customers your price could go up 20 cents a watt, it could go up 30 cents a watt, or we may not even be able to get product for you in a timely fashion.
Yeah. And that's a substantial price increase if that's in fact the case. So clearly, if you're a customer and you're thinking about going solar and you haven't signed a contract yet, your window is very short to safe harbor and avoid these FEOC requirements. You should do it now. If you've already signed a contract and you haven't yet safe harbored, you signed it months ago before this was an issue, and you're on the fence about safe harboring and you choose not to, we know that there's probably going to be supply chain challenges. There's probably going to be price increases, but there's also the challenge of getting on installation calendars. What does that look like?
Yeah, so right now, our customers that are not safe harbored are coming off the installation calendars for early next year, Warren, because we don't know exactly when that guidance is going to come out. So if you're a customer and you have not safe harbored and you're planning to install in January, February, March, let's say even first half of next year, if we install that project before the guidance comes out, the guidance could come out at a later time and basically disqualify that project for the tax credit. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully guidance isn't retroactive.
Right.
But even if it's not retroactive, we don't really know how to comply, period, at all. It's not like we've had enough guidance to know how to comply today under current guidelines because we haven't had that round of guidance come out to help us understand that.
Right. And manufacturers don't know how to certify it yet
Exactly.
either. They don't have guidance with that too. But I will say on the retroactive issue, throughout this process from the FEOC requirements and ITC going away, none of the guidance has been, there has been fear of it being retroactive, but we just haven't seen that yet. My gut feeling is that it's not going to be retroactive.
Yeah, that seems likely. And the guidance that came out in July or August wasn't as bad as what was feared. So it's possible that this guidance also won't be as bad as feared, and that the challenges won't be as significant. But again, if you have a project and you want certainty, it's pretty straightforward to safe harbor now, and that gives you that level of certainty that you don't need to worry about that going into next year. You can install at any time next year. If you don't get that, then there's going to be a question mark until the guidance comes out.
And there could be, in addition to hardware prices going up, there's going to be administrative costs involved in administering the certification and the entire process around FEOC.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Warren. That's one that I didn't think about. But once that guidance comes out, it could take weeks or months for manufacturers to do their due diligence, to get their lawyers involved, and to get papers written up that certify their products. That could certainly take at least weeks, if not months, to get there.
And then do we, as an organization, pass that certification on, copies of that certification to our customer?
Yeah, in most cases, the manufacturer is fine with us taking that documentation, passing on to customers that have that product. There are cases where the manufacturer wants a signed NDA in place before they provide that documentation. So that may be the case. But typically, we're able to get the customer the certification that they need for their tax advisor, for their attorney, so they can prove their eligibility for the tax credit.
So I think in summary, Larry, we're truly coming down to the wire here in terms of being able to safe harbor for FEOC this year. Like, you should move right now if that's something you want to do. If you choose not to do it, you're putting yourself at risk of potentially losing the entire tax credit by not being able to comply with FEOC. But in all likelihood, you're probably looking at delays and increased costs.
Yeah, I would think both are certainly in play. Delays for sure, because again, until we know that guidance, we don't know how to comply. So there's definitely going to be delays. the price increase, what that looks like and how significant that is a big unknown at this point.
Right. And if you're one of our customers that's choosing not to safe harbor, but you've signed a contract with us, we're going to put you on the schedule once we know exactly what the guidelines are and that we can, in fact, meet those guidelines.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want to install projects before we know what it takes.
Exactly. So I think the message is very clear. We're now's the time. You want to avoid FEOC, you got to do it now. You got to safe harbor right now. If you wait until next year, you're putting at risk potentially this, the tax credit, but more certainly, the delays and potential cost increases. Just a lot of unknown going into next year. Well, Larry, that clarifies it. I think it's pretty simple. The path forward is safe harbor now.